Hello, 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 guys. Welcome to this live broadcast. Welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip La Cour. I'm so glad you're here today. I know it's almost like the number one challenge for most men is finding the right information for you, especially when you're a little bit older. And you look in that mirror and you're uncertain of how to change that physique, to build that muscle, to lose that body fat. Is it your training routine? Do you need to switch that up? Is it your diet? All right, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and I know you guys want this badly. I know you want it badly, and I know you're looking all over the internet, and it's getting more and more confusing. Let me tell you about the information that's out there, whether it's geared for younger guys or the younger fitness experts are explaining it to you. You know, it's not so much that the diet or the training routine or the amount of days or the amount of reps. It's not so much that it's not suited for an older man. All right, there are no necessarily any different exercises or different combination of exercises or different rep schemes that are specifically designed for older men. All right, what it is our body's just not going to respond as if we were younger. But we can do that same routine, younger, older, and it will produce results. You know, what I bring to you, all right, is a little bit more effectiveness and efficiency with all of that information. All right, so you could use all that information that from the younger, passionate fitness experts. You could use it all, but many times, and here's the distinction that I want you to understand. Many times when you're younger, and maybe this was true of you, when you were younger and you spent all that time in the gym, whatever it was, 5, 6 days a week, a couple hours of them, just loved it. It was part of your identity. It was really important to you. All right, and you did all those sets, all that time. You just did whatever it took. It was a big part of your life. Right, and now you're a little bit older and you're saying, I can't do all that. But in your mind, you're thinking, that's the only way to do it. So if I can't do all that when I had all that brain space available when I was younger and all that time, that's what you might believe that's what it takes, and then you can't allocate all that willpower, focus, energy, and time, but now you're older and you want to get in shape, and you're thinking that's the only way to do it. Or maybe you never got into your training because you took care of your family and your business in the first part of your life, and now you're looking at all the videos out there, and it's all of this time and energy that you have to invest when you see it from the younger guys who aren't your age. Right, and you're saying, well, I can't do all that. And then maybe you pick and choose, and you don't do a really good job of picking and choosing what you should take and what you should throw away. All right, and you're not getting the results that you want. Right, so it's not so much about the training routines aren't designed to our physical body as we're older. It's just there's usually a lot of excess. That when you're younger and you're just full of testosterone and just full of energy, and you have less going on in your mind. You have fewer responsibilities, right? Maybe, again, that's how you were when you were younger. And so you're more than willing to do all that. So it's more that it's a lot of excess, all right? The things that don't matter may give you 1% difference. It's tacked on to all this time and all this energy and all this stress, all this excess, all right? It's just sapping your willpower, focus, energy, and time. And it's not something that's really going to give you the results, all right? That's what I do for you here is I make it effective and efficient. Again, I always say that 80-20 rule, right? There's 100 things that you're being told, and there's only 20 that are going to make the biggest impact as we're older. Again, so we are more effective and efficient with our willpower, focus, and energy, and time. And you can't just arbitrarily, pick, well, I'll just take this, this, and this, and this, because you may not have the priority ranks, right? Maybe from all the videos that you get from the younger guys, they're not doing a good job of narrowing down the most important things because they're willing to do all those 100 things, right? And so what you're doing is you're just picking and choosing out of all 100, and you're doing a poor job, right? You're missing key things that really matter, and you're adding a lot of excess, right? So that's probably the biggest distinction, from the strategies that are out there, why they don't fit you. It's more about your lifestyle more than your physical body and the chemistry and everything that happens when you're older. I hope that makes sense to you. Here's one good thing. You stick around long enough with me. One thing I promise you is I am the great simplifier, all right, where everything seems so complex. It's fun, it's exciting. I'm going to simplify it so you know what really matters, right? You yourself will be able to look at all of the information that you've gathered in the past that was so confusing, so overwhelming, and you'll be able to get credit for all that time, all that energy you spent watching those videos, doing those training programs that may have got you confused. You spend enough time with me, you'll get credit for all that, because all of a sudden you'll go, okay, I get what they're meaning by doing it that way. Now, you may go your other path. You might join me in my more effective and efficient ways of approaching it. But directionally, where all that information was going, you'll get it. Whereas before, it was all so confusing. You may not adopt it, but you'll understand it. See, here's the thing I want for you. See, when I look at all those strategies that get you so confused, right, I see it as 95% directionally going in the right direction. All right, I see the 5% variance. I may not necessarily agree. I may not agree that that's the more efficient way to do it. I may think it's excess, it's not needed. Doing this for 30 years and then 16 years removed from my competitive bodybuilding stage where now I have a life like you. It's busy. I don't have all that time, but I still want to look great. All right, see, I see it as all 95% the same. Whereas a lot of men out there trying to get through all the information, I get it. It's really not your fault. It's really tough, through a video for you to get the interpretation if you've never been to the other side. They see it as 95% confusing. So if you stick around with me enough, you get my simple and effective, that great simplifier perspective, you'll get credit for all that time you spent watching all those videos. They'll make sense to you. And analogy I like to give is like if you've ever read a book and you really are into the book and you heard it was great, you're willing to budget the time to read it, and you go through a patch, like you're reading like 4 chapters, and you're just not getting anything the author is trying to communicate at all. And it's really confusing, really overwhelming, and you're thinking, well, should I go back and reread these chapters? I don't think I understood anything that was going on. All right? And then you just persist. And then maybe in that 5th chapter, all of a sudden, okay, you get it. You get it. It's all of a sudden all in context for you. All right? You don't need to go back and reread those chapters because now in the bigger context, because you kept on going and in that 5th chapter, it brought more clarity, right? Now, okay, I get what the author was saying in those 4 chapters before where I thought I couldn't understand it. Now I get it and you can move on. If you stick with me long enough, that's what's going to happen. I hope it happens for you a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. I don't know, but you stick with me. That's what I guarantee will happen. All of a sudden, you'll just have this big epiphany, and again, what you saw is all this confusion, frustration, overwhelm. It's all going to make sense, so now it's just a matter of you doing the work. Getting in touch with you the next 3 days is going to be easy as 1, 2, 3. All right, you text me, 925-352-4366. If you're outside of the U.S., WhatsApp +1 925-352-4366. Say hello. I'll text you back, right? Now you're in my personal phone. Now we can go back and forth. All right, I'm going to send you a link to a questionnaire. I want you to tell me what you've been doing up until this point, what your challenges are, all right? So I get a lot of background on you. And again, I've helped out so many men just like you, so that information is going to be really helpful. Text me a picture. All right, a picture tells me 1,000 words, how you're perceiving what you need to do or what your challenges are. I can see it. I've helped out so many men like you. And then with all that information, you take the time to think that out. We talk for 10 or 15 minutes. I can tell you, I can give you some distinctions, some strategies to go on. Probably did that with 5 gentlemen just yesterday. 5 men just yesterday, I kind of got them focused on what they needed to do, whether it was their training or nutrition, had them figure a couple things out, text me back, and then I'll just head them down the next path, right, to, again, create that clarity for you. So have a great day. Have an outstanding day. Have an awesome day. Think big and think bigger than getting bigger.